Welcome back to another episode of IronCast. One of the most frequent questions that we get asked at Iron.io is how to get your workers to write back to the database, especially in development. Today, we're going to show you how to go about doing this. Connecting to a database with IronWorker is just like with any other app. The only difference is that a worker on EC2 needs an open port to your database and your database credentials. And so no matter what language or framework, those are the two small requirements in order for your worker to connect to your cloud-hosted database. As an example, we would like to show you how to do it in Rails and using Active Record. We're going to continue to use the same example application as the last couple of episodes of IronCast. First, you need to set up a free Heroku dev database. You can set it up using this command below. Once you set it up, you see that there's a new development database with a color attached to it. And in the interest of time, I'm going to use a database that I've already set up, which is the grade database. And I set it up for this example application that we've been using in the last couple of episodes of IronCast. So you can run this command, Heroku pg credentials gray. This way, we can have the credentials to an already set up development database, and I'm going to show you how to make a connection to it. I'm going to first make an example file just to show you how to make a connection, and then I'm going to show you how to do it in the worker. So I'll just make a new Ruby file, and then I'm going to open it. In order to make a connection to a cloud-hosted database, I'm going to first need to require some dependencies. In this case, we need to require the Postgres library, and we also need to require Active Record. And since I already have a snippets model in a snippets table in the database, we'll just quickly write our empty model here. Now we need to write a command to make a connection to the database. In order to connect to a database, we need to pass the database credentials as a hash. And the database credentials can be found here. And now we need to make some translations from how Heroku named their parameters to how Rails named their parameters. So database name will be translated to database. Host will remain to be host. And once we've done all of that, don't forget to add in the last parameter, which is to specify that your adapter is going to be a Postgres database. And after we make a database connection, now we can see if we can actually have access to a database. So let's do this. We can do Ruby example Active Record connection. Now, there we go. You can see that we've made a connection to the database, and we're able to pull all of the records from our development database. And so there we go. It's very simple to make a connection to a development database that's hosted on Heroku. And now let's fast forward and look at how to implement this with your workers. First, in our controller, we need to use a Rails built-in functionality, which is right here, so that we can send in our database credentials as a hash, the same way that we had before. And so the end result is going to look like this. It will contain all the parameters that we need to make a connection to the database. And then lastly, we take the parameter and we make a connection to a database. And this way, we'll be able to make a connection to our cloud-hosted development database as well as our cloud-hosted production database. Thank you for watching another episode of IronCast. I hope you found this helpful.